Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, before starting, I would like to thank the organizing committee for inviting me. It's an honor for me to be here with you. My talk is about the fruit fly invasion that we believe that it threatens the fruit production in Europe. In fruit flies, I have not included the Drosophila suzuki for several reasons. First, because we do not consider it as a true fruit fly because it's in the family of Drosophilidae. Second, I think it's not invasive any longer because it's everywhere in Europe. Probably in Greece, it was the last of the countries that invaded, and it's of some detections that we worked over the last year. It's almost everywhere now, and we expect some infestations in the next year. This is a synopsis of my talk. I speak a little bit about the biological invasion, some general terms. Then about the fruit flies, the true fruit flies. This is the Diptera of the family Tephritidae. It's the olive fly, the med fly, and the European cherry fruit fly, the most well-known of them. I speak a little bit about the propagule pressure, the pressure that Europe, that is induced in Europe because of these fruit flies, and also of another interesting concept, which is the range expansion. This is the gradual increase of the geographic distribution of this species. And at the end, I try to wrap all these ideas and come with some suggestions, with some future perspectives. So according to a really broad definition, biological invasions regard the geographic expansion of a species into a new area that was not previously occupied by this species. And the biological invasions are accomplished of two processes, I would say. The first one is these long jumps that regard arrival or transfer of the organism into really long distances that sometimes are between continents, and also this range expansion, which is the gradual increase of the geographic distribution of a species. And there are several phases in the process of invasion, starting from the arrival, the establishment of a self-sustained population. Then we have a process that is not that well known. This is the naturalization, and we have a lot of biological processes and changes in the genetics, and there is some adaptation during this phase. And of course, this is the last phase, which is the spread, and I would say it's overlapping with the range expansion, with the concept of range expansion. There are different management methods and strategies that are applied in each one of these phases. So these are the fruit flies of the family Tephritidae. This is a big family of pests, but there are 5 genera that are considered of the highest economic importance. We have the Mediterranean fruit fly in this group. The Ceratitis, it's one of these, it's the genus. We have the Bactroceras, Bactrocera dorsalis. It's also the olive fly in this group. And we have also the Dacus species, African species. I think there is a picture missing because there is another group. It's the Anastrephae that come from the Americas. And also we have the Ragoletis kerasi. It's the European cherry fly, and there are some other American cherry flies and walnut flies that have invaded Europe in the last few years. So, but why fruit flies are such important invasive species? There are certain reasons for this. It's because of some traits, some biological traits. First, I would say it's this cryptic life cycle because they infest fruits. The females lay eggs in the mesocarp of the fruit, and it takes few days for the fruits, for the larvae to hatch, and there are several weeks in some cases under certain conditions, under weather conditions. It takes several weeks for completing the development of the larvae. And to have a visible infestation of the fruit, it takes some time. It's one of the parts of the life cycle that is important. Also, there are some, the tropical species are multivoltine and polyphagous. Most of them, they have a long lifespan and a long oviposition period. And also, in some species, we have a really strong ability to disperse, to fly in different areas. So this is a map of the global distribution of the major fruit fly species. I know this is a quite complicated map with several dots, but what I would like to stress here is that fruit flies are all over the tropics. And there is a big group in Southeastern Asia. These are the Bactrocera species. There is a huge variety of species there. And we have some species in Australia. It's the Queensland fruit fly, and there's medflies in Australia as well. If we move to Africa now, we have 3 different Bactrocera species in Africa, and I excluded the olive fly, of course. This is the Bactrocera dorsalis, previously Bactrocera invadens, and it's the peach fruit fly, the Bactrocera zonata, and the Bactrocera cucurbita that are wide dispersed in all Africa. In Africa also we have the Dacus species and the Ceratitis, the cousins of the medfly, and there are several of those. As you can see in the Mediterranean area, we have the olive fly, the cherry fly, and the Mediterranean fruit fly. In the South America, in Central and South America, we have the Anastrephas. I have excluded from this map the Ragoletti species, which occupy the Americas, mostly the North America and the Mexico, but there are some in Southern America as well. So you can see there is all over the places, there are fruit flies, and if we classify them in 3 categories, actually I try to classify them in 3 categories. I call the first category as the old residents, those species that are in the area for several decades. It's the olive fly. Actually I didn't like to go further in the olive fly, only to report this relatively recent invasion into Northern America, into California. Then it's the European cherry fruit fly, which is the main pest of cherries until recent years. Now we have the Drosophila suzukii there, and I think it's considered in most countries as the most important pest of cherries. And of course we have the medfly. Again, there is some, okay, this is the map of the distribution of the medfly. And medfly is an interesting species because it's all over in the coastal area of the Mediterranean Sea. But in recent years, we have some range expansion, and I will refer more to this in the next slides. We have also the second category, is this, I call it newcomers. It's some species that have already established, and this regards some species of the Ragoletis genus that have been established in Central Europe. It's the walnut husk fly. This is the Ragoletis completa, infesting walnuts. It's Ragoletis cinculata, infesting cherries and sour cherries in Central Europe again. And it's also the Ragoletis suavis, another walnut cherry fly. What is interesting with the first of the 2 species is that it took them quite a long time in order to, I would say, to come into an epidemic configuration. They were there, they were detected in the 80s and in the 90s, but it took them 10, 20 years in order to get into the position to start creating some problems in the walnuts and in the cherries. And we have a third category. I call this as the imminent threat, and this regards 3 species. I included 3 species in this category. The first is the peach fruit fly. It's Bactrocera zonata. And I call it as an imminent threat because it's all over Egypt now. It's in Libya and also in Middle East. Actually, some recent information referred to the detection of the peach fruit fly in several places in Israel, even in the greater metropolitan area of Tel Aviv. Of course, it's not yet established there, and it's not considered as an established, but there are several detections. So that's, I think, the proximity and some other traits of this fly render it into first in the list. The second is the oriental fruit fly. The oriental fruit fly, it occurs all throughout the sub-Saharan Africa. From the eastern coast, from the Kenya, actually it was first detected in Kenya in 2003, and in a few years it made it all the way to the western coast of Africa. And also now it's in South Africa. So there is a huge propagule pressure because of this, from these countries to Europe with the Bactrocera dorsalis. And the third is the Ethiopian fruit fly. This is of the Dacus genus. And this is in Egypt, in the Arabian Peninsula, and now established in Israel and in southern Jordan. And there might be also some threats from this pest. So this is a distribution, the world distribution of the Bactrocera dorsalis, including the data of Bactrocera invadis. As I said before, it was, let's say, misidentified as a new species as Bactrocera invadis, but new evidences consider this as a synonymous to Bactrocera dorsalis. And another interesting thing with these flies is that we have frequent detections in California, and we consider some of them as having established permanent populations there. So now I move to give you some data on the huge propagule pressure of these flies to European countries, and this is the interceptions in EU. This is from the report of 2012, but the recent report, I checked it recently, it's always the same. It's around 1/3 of all interceptions are fruit flies in Europe. And this regards the cargo shipments. Same, actually we have same numbers if we look at the interceptions in the airports and in other ports of entry. So we have 1 out of the 3 of all intercepted pests to be fruit flies. And problem that arises with these interceptions, because we intercept infested fruits, is that we have only a proportion less than 20% that are identified at the genus level. So we need to do more work there in order to identify every single individual that is intercepted. And apparently there is a huge pressure for Europe. Europe imports fruits from all these countries and receives all these infested fruits, and therefore there is a huge pressure. Of course, there are regulations, but besides of all this and a part of all these regulations, we have an increasing number of interceptions in the European ports of entry. I switch now to talk a little bit about the range expansion, and I consider the Mediterranean fruit fly as a good example for this. I speak first for the within-country range expansion. A good example is Greece. In Greece, medfly was first detected in 1915, as you can see, in the southern parts of the country, in the coastal areas, and then in 60s in some islands, and there was one detection in northern Greece. But in our recent survey, we've seen that the fly is all over the country and has now invaded some major fruit-producing areas of palm and stone fruits. And this is an example. This is an area close to Thessaloniki in northern Greece. This is the main plain where the peach industry is operating, and also there are other fruits. In the last few years, we detect the fly there almost every year, and we reported some important infestation and late maturing and late ripening species. We have infestation in apples and also in quinces sometimes. So this range expansion to different areas within country impose some threat to other fruits that were never before reported as good hosts for medfly. We have the example of grapes. Now in several areas in Greece, we have medflies on grapes. We have also the infestation in apples late in the season. This is common in several countries. And also there are some other hosts that have no confirmed, let's say, field infestation of the Mediterranean fruit fly, and this is the kiwi. So we have new hosts coming into play. And the range expansion, as I said, regards the within-country dispersion of the fly, but also in different European countries. I have a couple of examples to present you here. The one comes from Romania. We ran a project in the Balkan Peninsula, and we've seen over the last few years that medfly is detected even in the Bucharest area in Romania and also in the coastal area of Romania. So there are some populations there. We don't know whether they can survive or not. But there is another more interesting story that comes from Austria. And we know from previous records that medfly is detected in Central European countries, in southern Germany, for example. But in Austria, if you look at this paper, it's from 2009 to 2013, medfly is detected in the fruit-producing area close to Vienna. So, and the authors of this paper conclude that there is an established population. Also, in Austria, there was a detection of Bactrocera dorsalis for several years. Looking at the literature, I've seen an older paper. This comes from 1958, and this regards the detection of medfly in the same area from 1952 to 1957. And of course, the conclusions of this author were similar, that the fly has self-sustained populations there. So there is a movement of medfly in cooler in cooler environments in northern countries. This is actually a model that tries to explain how medfly can sustain populations in that hostile environments. And in fact, the major element of the biology of the fly is that it can plastically stretch one generation, the overwintering generation. And the overwintering generation in the cooler areas can last up to 10 months. So there are, of course, climate changes, and this is a really complex system to consider, that the climate changes impose some socio-economic, they have socio-economic effects and also biological effects, and all of these socio-economic effects include the human mobility and the fruit trading, and this, of course, contributes to the propagule pressure. And also, on the other hand, we have the biological effects, and we have the adaptation and the naturalization. Some populations are pre-adapted to cooler conditions, and they can make it to these northern countries. So this dispersion of medfly to the northern European countries and to other areas, it's a thing that we need to consider. So what are the challenges that this fruit fly invasion imposes to fruit production in Europe? First, in years to come, we will face multiple pest problems for fruits. Already, as I said, in this deciduous fruit-producing area in northern Greece, we face not only the common pests of the fruits, of the Lepidopterus pests, but we have also medfly now. Also, we have an extended pest management season. We have new areas affected, and there might be some restrictions for the within Europe trading of the fruits in the next years. These are some future perspectives that I would like to share with you. I think we need to develop a European and Mediterranean network for fruit fly detection. I know there are some initiatives in different countries, but this is not a unified network. Also, we need to archive and post online details of the detections. There are European organizations that are doing this job, but we need more details for the scientists to analyze this data in order to get deeper insights. Also, we need to put some emphasis on understanding the biology of medfly in these marginal environments, and also to see the biology of the small populations, of populations that can remain undetected. So the fly can survive in an area, but cannot be detected because of the very low populations. We should also try to determine the genetic affinity of all specimens detected in order to understand the dynamics of the invasion. And also, we need to estimate the economic impact in different countries. And we definitely need to consider this global change, global warming scenario to see where these flies will become important in the future. And there is a list of modeling, there are a lot of models that come to answer this question. Last but not least, I think we should consider all these advances in technology in order to develop some spatial decision support systems for fruit flies. The spatial decision support systems can operate in large areas and can become an area-wide project, or can even operate in farm. And also we should try to develop these area-wide projects in Europe and also look to manage the flies even between in different countries. So there is a need for better coordination. There are initiatives, but I think we need better coordination. And last, I think we need to look at the hot status of some of the fruits that are affected. The kiwi is one of the examples that I bring into my mind, because there are some regulations of exporting kiwi, although we know that it's not a common host for medflies in the field, but the Chinese government has strict regulations of exporting the kiwi. And this is actually how we deal with these new ideas. We have a project, a Mediterranean project, trying to apply this technology, this GIS and GPS and all this technology to the management of fruit flies. I can give you more information if you wish later. So thank you very much.
Bien.